coaches for tonight's blockbuster, they're in fact best mates, which is quite bizarre. Brenton Sanderson, in fact, is the godfather of Nathan Buckley's son, Jet, and Bucks knows he's in for a huge challenge tonight.
You've got to find that emotional intensity to be able to bring the physical intensity, and Adelaide have been able to do that week after week, especially in their last three with Sydney, Geelong and Carlton. And yeah, our performance against Geelong last week was encouraging. We've had an 8-day break, time to recharge the batteries. We're ready to go.
Talking about contested ball, two of their prime movers, Dangerfield and Sloane. In your early part of your coaching career, will you tag them tonight?
Well, there's Thompson as well, and obviously there's a few other boys getting through there. McKay's been running really well for them. Can't ignore blokes like Matty Wright, Paul Pleasure that sneak into that midfield as well. You know, we back our boys. You know, Pendlebury, Thomas, side bottom beams, Blair, Wellingham. We've got a few guys in there that are pretty good hardball getters as well.
Every game for us has been a real challenge in a different way, but yeah, tonight doesn't get much bigger. You know, our home game against the Pies, which are always hard to beat. Capacity crowd, it's going to be a fantastic contest.
Where do you feel you can break Collingwood down tonight to win the game?
Oh, they do a lot of things that we do well. They do well as well. You know, so contested ball and clearances, I think, are probably the two areas which both sides have been going really well. So we'll do our very best to get on top in those areas and try and maintain that strength we've had at the start of the season.
Tuvey, side bottom. Tuvey trying to show some poise early. Touch, Doughty, dragged down, Goldsack, put him into the dirt. Thomas, Tuvey. Tough ball to be winning right now. They are two of the best contested possession teams in the comp this year. Van Berlo turnover for Solo, flick on, Blair to Sinclair, open forward line, Cloak peeling back to the square. Sinclair might go alone, feeds it inboard. Pendlebury, arguably the best player in the comp, and that's wide. Cool head and finds Shaw.
Yeah, you're right, Dermot, and well done by Sinclair because he's just prepared himself well, knowing that he really had to punch it into the ground.
Big kick to settle the nerves, never in doubt. Wide, and getting back beams takes the mark. Also been in the best form of his career, averaging 28 possessions per game, Dane Beams. Called to go. Puts it up for Cloak if he can get there. And Dawes almost stole that from everyone. Blair slips it up, side bottom. We know he can find a goal, and that's allowed to roll through. Well played, Thomas. Collingwood have the first two. Everybody takes a breath. Heads wide. Tippett.
That's
Sinclair.
a great result for Collingwood.
Clark. Pendlebury. Didak can get and go. Had to wait. And now he's off, and he pumps it along to the square. Another race on. Dribbling ball. Goldsack too clever. Collingwood get their third.
Really, really impressive down to Pendlebury wrapping round. And as Pendlebury normally does, he finds the right option. And side bottom is normally a really efficient kick for goal, so he'd be bitterly disappointed by that. But a great effort from Jolly down to Pendlebury.
Jacobs just didn't hold it long enough. Pendlebury again, creating havoc. Beams, lucky. Possession number 14 coming up for Dane Beams. Makes the umpire do some dancing, but it's there. Collingwood back in front.
You spend a lot of time setting up forward strategies for your stoppages, so really trying to get your dangerous players around them, get a couple of blocks.
Goldsack, just seconds remaining. Weaves his way around McKay, loads up, and that is gold with 29 seconds left.
Bobbing up with clinch goals, and just, you could read his mind here when he comes in. He's wanting to get onto his right foot, and I'm surprised McKay bought it. He was never going to go inboard on the left. He wasn't going to make the distance, but from the outside on the right foot, you just had to corral him a bit there.
Got away with it, and Dawes a possession, but again, it's not a decisive one.
Well, he's involving himself without getting stats on the board. Well done.
Didak, good centering kick, hits the spot. Pendlebury the collect, slips the tackle, bends it around the body. could be priceless.
He is a star.
This bloke is at the top of the tree.
Yeah, I tell you, if you're a Collingwood supporter, it must be an absolute pleasure to come week in, week out and see this fella play. But I did like the contest.
Plenty of time left. Players know it'll be a long quarter. Hugs the boundary. Jenkin, Tippett, neither could mark it. Goldsack shrugs that tackle, throws it away. Sinclair attacked that beautifully. Wellingham kept it in front. Looks up, past target. Thomas, Blair, Beams. Is that a big night at the office? Can he complete the deal? Collingwood by 8.
He's a really good one-on-one player. People think he's a good chain type player who gets in the link and he's very smart, but he's deceptively good in the one-on-ones.
Dowdy crashed the contest but knocked it down to Dale Thomas. Dawes can't mark. He's about to crumb it though. Wellingham might get there first. Toes it off the deck.
Could be good.
Fortuitously, it goes through. The gods are smiling on Collingwood. From the flick down. Beams. Didak. Side bottom. Thomas.
Young Elliott could win it here.
Dowdy got a fist on it. Beams collects. Thomas. And it was 15. Didak marks.
Just noticed a couple of the Collingwood players playing basic football. The forwards are playing in front. And Adelaide are just dropping off. They've got to stay disciplined to the structures.
Tailor-made for him.
One of their former match winners trying to find his old form again. He gives it plenty of shoe. It's long. Didak's back.
Still made the grand final, but I think this shows why most people consider them probably the most talented team in the competition. Dwayne, you mentioned they've got a number of players
Elliott
out.
flies, can't take the mark. Side bottom, sorry, Rosie.
Right.
There's your full stop. There's your heartbreaker.
And again, that's just the class, Dwayne, the class of Collingwood. And you take your hat off to Thomas 13 in the last, side bottom 9 in the last, Beams 8, Didak 8, Blair 7, Pendlebury 7, great fly. But this finish, and that's really been the only difference in the game. You've still got to give credit to the Crows. They've had a real dip for the whole night. But what we're seeing tonight is the might of Collingwood and the power of Collingwood and an excited Nathan Buckley.
Glenn Jakovic is with Alan Didak.
Yes, I certainly am, Dwayne. 21 possessions. He kicked a beautiful goal in the last quarter. Mate, it was a titanic tussle, real tight, but you came good in the last quarter there.
Oh, that's all right. You rate yourself against the best, and we come out and played tonight and really stuck it out for 4 quarters, and that's what you have to do against the best teams, and we did that, and what a great win.
Alan, have noticed 7 of your best 18 out of the side, but the even spread of your middle range players really stood up tonight, felt, when the game was there to be won.
Well, that's right. We've got great depth. We've got a lot of players out. Some can't come back this season, but it just shows that you put a lot of time and effort into these young kids. They can become good players.
Your defensive pressure has been a hallmark over some years, but I guess in the last quarter there, you kept Adelaide goalless. I mean, it's really starting to gel together now.
Well, that's right. Early on in the season, we're probably leaking too many goals, and slowly we're getting better and better, and showed tonight that, if we stick it out for 4 quarters, we can be a good team.
Alan, well done. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate.
Well, let's be honest about this. Several weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, there were rumblings. There is an older contingent in this club. Would they buy into Nathan Buckley? They'd played footy with him. Some of them reckon he was... Well, the words were that they reckon he was a bit serious. Too serious for their liking to actually love footy and give their all. Tell you what, those rumblings have completely been dispelled, because every one of those blokes who's playing tonight, they bought in and more. That was a superb performance.